On an early April morning in 2016, cadets from Virginia Military Institute joined students from Washington and Lee University to help restore a small headwater stream in Moores Creek State Forest near Lexington, Virginia. They were there as partners of the Skyline chapter of Trout Unlimited and supported by the Virginia Department of Forestry. The shared goal of all the partners was to make this stream a more favorable habitat for the long-term survival of naturally reproducing brook trout.
We're at Smith Branch, and we're about 2.5 miles away from where our work sites are set up. We have as many wheelbarrows and things as we can, and hopefully it'll be a great time for everybody. Moores Creek for many years has not had brook trout. The native strain of brook trout has been gone from here for years. But we have found through electroshocking that there are fingerling brook trout here. And the only way they could be coming is from the Lexington Reservoir.
In 2008, I was working with the Department of Game and Inland Fisheries, and I was wondering about the small reservoirs around the state that they stock with brook trout, most of which have small tributaries coming in that have wild populations of brook trout above them. And we wanted to find out if the brook trout that were stocked in the reservoirs moved up into the tributaries and competed with the native fish for spawning habitat and things like that. And they mentioned Moores Creek, which didn't have a native trout population in it originally. So we came up and we shocked the stream and we found all kinds of trout in it. And when we analyzed the genetic makeup of those trout, we realized that they were the same strain that had been stocked in the reservoir for quite a while, and it turns out that they were naturally reproducing in the stream. I came back with Mike Smith a few years later, and we couldn't find any trout in the stream, and we realized that it was a different time of year, and the trout must have gone back down into the lake during the low water periods, because when the water would get low, there wouldn't be any deep holes. And so we decided that a nice restoration project like this that would put some more holding water structures into the stream and maybe allow these fish to last through the summer up here would be a nice project for the two clubs.
The Moores Creek was a relatively recent acquisition. The state forest system is quite large, as you know, but back in 2012 or so we took ownership with the great cooperation of the Rockbridge Area Conservation Council. We are very fortunate to have folks from VMI and Washington and Lee University. A lot of good young people out here working today. And it's good just to get folks out here like this, helping out the state forest. We have a small staff, so we try to leverage the amount of volunteers that we can get as much as we can. So 24 strapping young lads from VMI, and this was 8 folks from Washington and Lee, so that makes for a good day's work.
It's a very remote area, so we've had to hike in for 2 miles. So not only do we not have any equipment to work with and have to do everything by hand, but we have to bring all the hand tools in as well. So we do have chainsaw, that's our only power tool here, but everything else is being hand dug and hand placed. And it's pretty difficult on a stream like this with a lot of large rocks to get your structures down in where you want them to be and anchored into the banks.
We made a little structure out of some wood to firm up this bank and to help scour some of this deposited material over here out and make this into a nice little pool for brook trout to live in.
We're partnered with the Trout Unlimited 5 Rivers program, which is a college outreach program of all the other college fly fishing clubs. And as part of our partnership, we need to do a conservation initiative. And so instead of picking up trash, which we could do, which we do anyways when we're out fishing, we decided we'd want something a little more tangible conservation project like this one we're doing today.
Maybe you can't fix a stream in a single day, but you can fix in the human heart and mind the ideals of stream conservation that will last a lifetime.